everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. And if you will, this morning, we'll start off in the book of Proverbs, start our week that way, in Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. And as we continue through the first chapter, I was thinking of a kind of a description. If I was putting a summary over this chapter, it's almost the author is giving us his reasoning and his logic for why we should study the book. And the passage we're going to look at today, we're just going to look at one verse, again, verse 7. And verse 7 could be labeled as really the main or the key verse for understanding or for the book of Proverbs. And simple statement, you've probably heard this before, even if maybe you didn't even recognize where it was coming from. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And so we have here again a statement that really kind of lays Solomon's case on the table for us. This is his opinion of those who seek knowledge or wisdom. The two words you'll notice as we go through the book that there are the word goes matter of fact in this verse you see at the beginning of the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And so the word, the terminology goes back and forth. But really, what we have there is a statement. He says, you're one or the other. You're either wise, that is, that you're a wise person that fears the Lord, or you are a fool that despises wisdom and knowledge. And again, the interesting thing is how many people have through the years, throughout history, people have wanted wisdom. They still want wisdom today. People are still looking for wisdom and how to gain wisdom. And most people, I don't think we can say all, but most people do desire wisdom. And again, a lot of money is spent in the pursuit of wisdom, whether that be at your local bookstore or at your local community college or university, where people are trying to find knowledge, reading the internet. People are trying to obtain more knowledge, more wisdom, but they overlook what Solomon has said here, and that is that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. And if we want to have wisdom, we can have all the book learning, we can have all of the training and the education known to man, but if we don't understand that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, then we don't have wisdom. And so this is again the key verse in understanding wisdom. It is the foundation of everything else that we're going to talk about, that is written in this book. Again, the fear of the Lord. So let's talk for a minute about what that is, the fear of the Lord. It's a phrase that confuses some people, that when they think of fear of the Lord, they think of like haunted house fear. But what fear of the Lord means scripturally is understanding the nature of God, understanding who God is, and giving him the reverence that he deserves. A person who fears God submits and obeys the Lord. Perhaps a poor parallel would be a police officer. I don't think any of us want to raise our children to be afraid of the police. We don't, it's a bad way to raise them. If they're ever in trouble, they need to feel like, again, a police officer is one that they can trust. But we do want them. Hopefully, we've taught our children. Unfortunately, it's not a very common. Too many people are not today, but we respect them. We give them the respect they're due for the position that they hold. And that's what the fear of the Lord means. It's not a matter of being terrified that he's going to hit us in the back of the head with a lightning bolt. It is giving him the respect that he is due. And then you'll notice also in that verse that the word Lord, and we talked about this in the Psalms, is all capitals, which means it is Yahweh, Jehovah. And so he says the fear of Jehovah, Yahweh, is the key to wisdom. And that name is the covenant name. It is the name that God has used to reveal himself to man with. And so the fear of the one true God is the beginning of knowledge. It's how we learn to live. And then the word knowledge in verse 7 here is the same word that we see in verse 4 when it says to the young man may knowledge and discretion. It's the same word there that is used. And the understanding then is it's a piece of wisdom. It's a specific idea. Bruce Waltke says wisdom and knowledge are inseparable, for the mastery of life's experience demands knowledge of God's moral order. It is, again, this word knowledge is the same as wisdom. And he says that's the beginning. It's the first step. Trusting God is how we move towards wisdom. Everything else, if our wisdom is not built on a proper respect of God, then it's built on a poor foundation. And we see that in our society today. There are a lot of people who have a lot of wisdom, but it's not built on a relationship and a knowledge, a reverence, a fear of the Lord. And therefore, when it's challenged, it tends to fall apart. And so wisdom begins, it is built on that relationship. And so ultimately what we see then is wisdom as a choice. Wisdom, we've said wisdom was a gift. Wisdom is given from God. Wisdom is also then a choice. It is a choice to commit ourselves to fear God, to acknowledge God, to respect God, to reverence God, to have a relationship with God. If we seek wisdom, it begins with our relationship with God. And close with this illustration today, and I use this a lot because it is a really, I think, accurate illustration of a lot of things, and that's that map in the mall that you've seen when you're looking for a store. The most important thing on that map is that dot that says "You are here." If you don't know where you are, then you can't get to where you're going. Same thing with wisdom. The most important part of wisdom is where you start. And it starts with our respect and our reverence, our relationship with God. And so today, our challenge from this passage is to again to think about. The first question is not, do I want wisdom? The question is, am I starting in the right place? Am I starting with a fear of the Lord? You think about that today, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.